Oh, hello, hello, hello. This is your Dr. Angie Kelly, and today I'm going to be talking about multiple streams of income and why they are important, and also noticing the gifts that you have in you, noticing the gifts that's laying dormant in you. Your natural gifts, you have natural gifts, you have spiritual gifts. So I'm going to be going over some of those things today. Okay? So bear with me, but I'm going to be talking about multiple streams of income. I did do a class on multiple streams of income on my Facebook page, but because it was live, it was removed. So a lot of my clients was asking me again if I could do the class over again. So, again, my name is Dr. Angie Kelly. The name of my business is Financial Freedom by Faith. I operate in credit repair, building your credit, also building your business credit, showing you how to do those things, and also starting your own business, whether it's your nonprofit or your LLC. So when it comes to the business aspect, I like to talk about multiple streams of income. I like to talk about different things that require basically you having one business versus multiple streams businesses. And we're going to talk about that today. So I'm going to start my lesson. Um, I'm not going to sit around and wait for people to come on. Eventually, they'll come on. So, Financial Freedom by Faith. And again, my name is Dr. Angie Kelly. I'm the founder and CEO of Financial Freedom by Faith. And today I'm going to talk about multiple streams of income. So, the first thing we must know is what is multiple streams of income? So everyone has a gift placed inside of them. I had a gift. I have a gift. You have a gift. Like I said again, it's spiritual gifts. It's natural gifts. We all have gifts within us, right? So, what are multiple streams of income? I'm going to read to you the definition of multiple streams of income, and you ask yourself how you think is very important for you. More than one source of income for stability and freedom. I like when they say it's for stability because a lot of times, and in living in the times that we are in today, and to see everything that's going on, if you have one job or you have one business, it's a possibility. It's not even a possibility, but that is can fail. So multiple streams of income is like when you have a backup income. So for me, myself, I think first I need to just share a little bit about myself to make it more acquaintable for you. My name is Dr. Angie Kelly, and I'm just gonna share with you how I found my gifts from from God, if you could say so. So we all have gifts, natural gifts, spiritual gifts. Okay, so I love, based on what Proverbs says, 18 and 16, how our gifts will make room for you. I never realized that. My gifts was birthed out of my pain, my struggle. And then I realized that after I overcame the pain and the struggle, then I realized that God had some type of purpose for me. See, I was one of those that was born and raised in Bed-Stuy, and they said Bed-Stuy, do or die. And I actually came from the streets of Hard Knocks. I didn't have any good mentorship to show me how to budget my money and how to save money and do things like that. So I began to get caught up in the hustling game. And believe it or not, that was a business that God had already gave me that I didn't even know I had. But God knows and ordains the business in you before you even recognize it. I don't care what your situation is. I don't care if you was a drug dealer. I don't care. I was a shoplifter. I used to boost. That's what they called it back then. And, through my struggles of addiction, getting caught up, with drug use and everything of that nature, God just shifts some things around. So I began, as I was a hustler, I always thought, well, Dad, I sell these things to people that work. They work, they come home from work, and for some reason I felt like I just couldn't do that. I felt that this is the way that I had to get my money. I didn't know, like today, where God has blessed me with 5 streams of income and multiple streams of income of me not robbing and stealing like I used to. But what I'm saying to you today is that the gift is laying dormant in you. I don't care what it is that you used to do. It's a business. I was a businesswoman. Even though I was getting things the wrong way, I was still a businesswoman. I sold my clothes, so I knew what prices to sell. I got I gave them the product, and I got the money for it, and I had a good gift for gab. Well, it wasn't really a gift for gab, but I knew how to sell my clothes. So we all have that business that's laying dormant in us right now. So that was, one of my stories. So through my pain of me, doing what I was doing and really got sick and tired of doing it, I just surrendered all. And then once I surrendered, I realized that I can do the same thing that these people are doing. They are coming home from work, working hard, and they still able to pay $700 for a jacket and stuff like that. And I'm like, wow. And I just thought it was something impossible, because your environment can change everything. Sometimes we're caught up in these environments, and these environments keep us in bondage. These environments keep us from stretching. So, but at that time, I didn't know that. And if I'm talking to youth today, you didn't know that neither. You only knew what you was taught. You only knew what you was learned. Another thing I teach about budgeting, because we never learned how to budget our money. We learned how to put it in a piggy bank, and that was it. We didn't know anything about investments. So it's never too late to start all over again. So my gifts that made room for me, my first business that I had, it was a daycare. And I never worked a day in my life. I had one job in my life. I hustled my whole life till I was in my late 30s. And then I got a job. I got saved and I got a job. And at that job, I worked for 2.5 years. That was the only job I ever had. So what happened was, during that job time, they fired me 2 years later. I walked by faith and got my first house with no money down. The owner of the house put the money down for me, and I was only making $365 a week. Who gets a house with that but God? I told you, I fully surrendered. So what happened was, 2 weeks later, they fired me after I bought my house. After 2.5 years, after me putting my trust in a job. And I said, oh my God, I had to really get desperate. But then I remember that, God, you told me to get this house, and it was only you that made it possible. So this is not my problem, but this is a God problem. But I had to take action, and that's when I became an entrepreneur. My first business was a daycare. I started my daycare. I had my daycare for over 20 years. I just gave up my daycare, actually, finalized everything a couple of months ago. Okay, but I had it in New York for 20 years, and then I had a daycare that I did for another 4 years in Connecticut, but enough was enough. But that was the first thing. I got desperate. And said, no man is going to never get the opportunity again to fire me. So sometimes when you want to start your own business and you know you got these gifts laying dormant in you and you have vision and you go to sleep and you thinking and you saying what you want to be. It's just like when you was a child and you say, what do you want to be? Oh, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer, whatever it is. But you have these visions, and a lot of times the visions that we have is not the visions. The visions that we have is the visions that we want. But when God gives us a vision and an instruction to act out on it, it's going to last eternally. And that's what I did, because I never thought I would deal with a daycare, and then that opened up other doors. So now I'm going to get back on subject, but I've just shared a little thing, a little something about who I am and, what I've been through. And, my gifts was birthed out of pain. Because it's hard sometimes when you're starting a business also, for a lot of you that want to start your business, and a lot of you that have these gifts laying dormant. So in order for you to get these multiple streams of income, it's like you have one gift. And then you have another gift, because God begins to open up your brains and your mindset. And then your whole environment begins to change, because your mindset changed. Once your mindset changed, everything changes. So I'm going to get back to the multiple streams of income. I don't know why I keep staying here, with y'all, but I have to, go through with this lesson. So this is the purpose of me being here. Okay. So everyone has a gift placed inside of them. That's Proverbs 18:16. A man's gifts makes room for them. Okay, so I shared briefly my story. Okay, so we're diving into the multiple streams of income. That is one source of income for stability and freedom. For a perfect example, one of my businesses is an Airbnb. So when my Abundance Hair Bundles, I sell hair imported from India. I had that business for about over 6 years. So when that's not doing too well, then I have the Airbnb. So that's a backup. So that's the good thing about multiple streams of income, because one thing ain't operating right, you always have a backup. So we got to stay focused on that. So the types of income. Now, this is a question that I want to ask you guys. And if there's any comments, I can't really see them too clear at the bottom, but I'll try to do the best I can. Okay, so active income, there's two types, y'all. It's active income, requires direct work. When I was working in my daycare, that was active. That was something that was requiring, to me, active work. I had to be there. It took up all my time. It took up all my energy. It even got sometimes to my emotions. So that's one thing that today it's not happening. Because why? Because I've learned. But sometimes you got to do the work. You got to do the work. You got to do the work. And then once you establish hands-on and know, then you could also move on. But that was an active income. It required direct work. It took up all my time. What happened was, I said, you know what? Now, everything I do it myself. I make my own time because I have my own businesses, and I do it at my own pace. I'm not working to build somebody else's business. I'm working to build my business. And can I tell you, when you start to build your business, you're going to have a lot of nights that you're not going to sleep. You're going to have but it's going to pay off at the end. And you're going to have people that will tap you on your shoulder and say, oh, you started a business, congratulations. But while you diving in deep in those lonely nights and you walking by faith saying, oh my God, is this going to really, really work? Can I tell you, keep pushing on, keep doing. Don't look at the views you get. Don't look at the comments you get. You look at the vision that God gave you to keep moving on. So passive income, ha, ha, ha. Somebody say passive income. That's the type of income that you want to have. Okay? So passive income is, it earns while you sleep. For example, my Airbnb, while I'm asleep, I wake up, oh, I got bookings. Okay? My ebooks, I wrote an ebook. It's on my page of financialfreedomvip.com. It's called From the Streets to Financial Freedom. The reason why I say that is because I came from the streets, but now through the obedience of me listening to what God told me and he making us a good steward. See, one time I was in church and I kept shouting and I kept saying, God, will you bless me with 2 houses? And he did. And you bless me with these cars, and he did. But then I was still in debt because these cars I still owe car notes on, and these houses I still owed on. So I said, no, that's a problem. So a lot of times it's not a lot of times, we got to do the work. We shout and we wake up. I got a wake up call. I said, wait a minute, God, it has to be more than just this. Especially where you brought me from, especially from a person that's been in debt, that's been in bankruptcy, didn't have money to pay the rent, and all types of stuff, addicted to drugs and just in and out of prisons and stuff like that. I said, God, it's got to be more because I gave you my life right now. But God said, the word says, you got to dig into the word. We can't just do the surface thing. We got to dig into the word where God says he will make us debt free. The head and not the tail. The lenders and not the borrowers. And as soon as we begin to activate that, he will enlarge our minds. And the more we educate ourselves on what we're doing, I'm going to share one of my businesses, the Financial Freedom by Faith, and I have a nonprofit organization also called Each One Reach One, and both of those birthed just in February of this year. And what happened was, out of that one business, the Financial Freedom, I said, all I'm going to do is teach people how to do it themselves, credit report, or teach people how to do it themselves, how to start their own nonprofit and their LLC organizations and stuff like that. That's all I said. But then the Lord said to me, Angie, first of all, let me tell you how to do this. First, you got those that their credit need to be repaired. So then I said, okay, great. That's one, right? That's one business. He said, then another one is, then after you repair their credit, you have to bill their credit. I was like, that's right, because what's the sense of they getting everything, inaccuracies and everything off their credit report, but then now they still need credit. So I teach how to build credit. That's 2 things. This is out of one vision, one business that can birth multiple things. So then he said, now Angie, if you're teaching them how to start their own LLCs and their nonprofits, then okay, now that you got the credit part straight, now you're going to teach them how to start their own businesses. Yes, but now you got to teach them also how to get business credit. That's 5 things, y'all. And out of that, I got an ebook done, lessons, I teach, I coach. So think about that. That's 7 streams of income right there out of just one vision or one idea. And I was thinking small. I said, okay, I'm just going to do credit repair and show them how to do their business. And God was like, no, this is how you do it. So that's how things are birthed. But we don't know until we tap in. We have to tap into God's word and see what he says. He give us the spirit to get wealth, the power to get wealth. That power is educating ourselves. And we have a compassion to give it out to others. This is a compassion that I have. When I had my daycare, I always wanted a compassion. It was a compassion that I wanted to take care of kids. Anything you do, when you start your nonprofit organization or whatever, have a compassion and have a problem. Say, I'm a problem solver. I could solve this problem, because people want to see things solved and what you can do to solve their problem and have compassion. So that's just some little nuggets that I'm saying to you. So now we understand what the passive income that earns while you sleep. Examples, Airbnb, examples, anything that you do online, that could be passive. A passive is something that's not taking up your time. I cannot do a 9 to 5 another day in my life because I got vision. I want to put in my business. I want to download, educate myself to help other people. I don't want to sign up at work every day to your job and you give me a paycheck. And then when you decide that you want to fire me, bam, bam, been there. I done told y'all the story earlier. So, okay. So I'm hoping that this is some good points to you and that you will separate the two. Active is going to take up your time and stress yourself. Okay? Passive is something while you sleep, that money's going ching, 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 ching. Okay? So, actively, I'm going to talk about discovering our gifts. Okay? And you could just say this to yourself. I'm asking students to write down because when I did this class, I also had a worksheet and I had questionnaires because I like to see people's response and I like to see are they taking action. So one of the things on my active sheet, it was what are you naturally good at? Just tell me, what are you naturally good at? Are you good at baking cakes? Are you good at drawing pictures? What are you naturally good at? What's around you right now that you could say, okay, I want to take action to this. Okay, I know how to bake cakes and, I'm going to put a couple of these cakes together and I'm going to, what are you naturally? Everybody has natural gifts. And not only that, you have things around you right now that you can activate now as some type of business, whether you're drawing, whether you're doing hair, whatever it is, these all add up to multiple streams of income. Remember, one income is not going to do it. Two incomes in society is not going to do it. Three incomes may not do it. But what I'm saying is you want to do something passive. That way it doesn't take up your time where you got time to educate yourself and pour into people like you. Pour into your community. Pour into those that you are solving a problem with. Okay? So that was the question. What are you naturally good at? Write it down. As I'm teaching this to you now, write it down. What are you good naturally at? Because I'm quite sure everybody that's watching right now, there is something you can start right now. If you look around or you something that you know you was good at. And then if you have a passion for something, start. Never put off what you could do today, tomorrow. Tomorrow is your worstest enemy. Okay? So that was one of the questions. My next question is, what do people ask you for help with? Okay, I didn't understand why people, I was a good steward because God made me a good steward, after me getting fired off my job. So I was a good steward. I was a business person. And first of all, like I told you, I was a business person when I was in the world stealing those clothes. I was a business person. You're a business person. I don't care if you sold drugs before or whatever you did. But now we're turning it around to legalize stuff and do it the right way. So that business was always built in you. That business was always in you all the time, no matter what. So whether you the master that you choose was the bad master. But now, when you're with the good master, whatever he bless you with, it's going to be eternal. Whatever vision he gives you, it's going to come to pass. His word will not come back void. It would accomplish what it's sent out to do. So we have to learn how to just take action. We have to take action. So you got natural gifts around you. What do people come to you and say out of the blue? Oh, can you help me with this? Or sometimes we don't even know what we're made of. Other people see it before we even believe who we really are. What happened to me, what made me start this business back in February, in February I started it. So God has said, a young lady from my church, she's about 21, 22, college student, she came up to me and she said, Dr. Kelly, can you help me budget my money? And I'm saying to her, How she know? Why would she ask me that? I do know how to budget. I do know how to help. But all I'm saying to you is that somebody sees your gifts and somebody keeps coming to you today and yesterday and over and they're asking you the same thing. It's because you got what they need. And whatever it is, you could turn it into a business that can be part of your multiple streams of income. So that's why I asked that question. That's why I asked the question, what do people ask you for help with? What is it? Write that down also. Because after this class is over, you should be well activated by faith. So my third question, what do you love doing even for free? I love doing what I'm doing right now. I'm teaching you. I'm showing you. I'm coaching you. I'm telling you my story. This is something I love. Whatever you do, make sure you have a compassion for it and it's something that you love. Make sure it's something you have compassion for. Something that if you didn't have no money today, I'm going to start this. Or something that I'm going to start this regardless of whether I got the money or not. It's something you love. Okay? What I'm doing now, this is something I love. I love to help people. I love to help people start their businesses. Young people today, they don't even want to work for nobody. And see, they done had that mindset for years. And we've been teaching them, go to school, get your education, and you could get a job. Fairy tales, okay? Go to college. Half of us that been working is not even working in the field that we want. We're not working in that desired office. The only time you're going to work in the desirable office is when you tap into the vision and the business that God gives you. And that's when you're going to tap into it. Okay? That's when things are going to begin to happen. Okay? So those are the 3 questions, okay? What do you love doing even for free? Because everything can't be about money. The Bible says God will make room for your gifts. I don't chase money. I let money chase me. We're not supposed to chase money because if we do, it becomes an idol. So we have to let money chase us. How do they chase us? Because we got a good vision. We got a good business. We're helping people. We're solving their problems. We're doing it with love and compassion. And we birthed it out of our own pain and not afraid to tell a story of when we messed up or when things didn't go right. Don't look for man to validate you. You know who you are. I used to deal with a lot of times, being validated, waiting to be pat on the shoulder. No, Angie, you did good. You done wrote an ebook. You done birthed 4, 5 businesses and all in 6 months. Come on. You better give yourself a tap on the shoulder for you to, because man ain't going to do it. Because like I said, those sleepless nights, millionaires don't get no sleep until after things are accomplished. And see, your mind is always telling you something, opening up. Like my business, I thought it was 2 things I was going to do. And it opened up to 5 different things out of one business, which turned into 7 to 8 multiple streams of income. Catch it today. Catch it tonight. God is good. Okay, so now I'm going to move down to from one gift to many streams. And I already shared that with you, how I said I was going to start the just do the credit repair and and then God said, nope, you got to teach them how to build their credit. And then if you want to show them how to get their own businesses, you also got to show them how to build business credit. Yeah, you got that beauty salon and you done got it, but now you need to build your business credit. So you can buy the things in there. And let me tell y'all a secret, y'all. It is a lot easier building business credit than personal credit. Less requirements. Okay? And you can have bad credit. You can have bad, messed up, jacked up personal credit and still get business credit. And I'm telling you, for your business, it's going to be important because you're going to need it. If you get an Airbnb, you're going to need to buy furniture. You may not have that money, but learn to use other people's money. That's what I do. I use other people. I used to always say, oh, let me spend my money, let's spend my money. No, you can't get nowhere with that. You need to use other people's money, and then that will build up your credit and give you integrity that when you walk in the banks, they know you by name. They know how many accounts. Oh, what can I do for you, Dr. Angie Kelly, today? Oh, well, I would like to. I'm telling you, it will open up doors, plenty doors, multiple streams of income with many, many doors that will manifest. And I decree and declare it that it will happen over your life starting today. So I explained that. Now, brainstorming, okay? Brainstorming, service-based, child care, cleaning. A lot of you like to clean, right? So think about these natural gifts. Think about these gifts that you got, okay? That you can do, that you clean real good around your house. Then you go and you start a cleaning business. Because before you know it, that little business that you have, that cleaning business that you did all the work for, because like when I had my daycare, for the first 2 years, I did the footwork. Then I was able to have employees, and that freed my time because I didn't have to be on site. So be grateful for the little things because God will bless you on the many, and the open doors will begin to open for you today. I decree and declare it. So the brainstorming, okay, that's the service-based, childcare, cleaning, coaching. You could be good in craft. You could doing hair. You know, a lot of you started from doing hair in your own house or your mom's house, wherever. But now you got a beauty parlor. See? When you begin to take action, God does the multiplication. He does the multiple. He multiplies everything. You touch one thing and he'll multiply it. And that's the mindset that we have to have. Now, I'm going to give you a 30-day action plan, okay? In 30 days, I will create or sell. I will create or sell. I will create or sell. I will take action because a lot of times we have things, and one of the things I teach also is with the multiple streams of income. One of my businesses with the nonprofit organization, they take donations. Everything is not about the money, but do just donations. Just do donations and sponsorship and partnership and grants. You can pay your whole staff. I just did a video on that, how nonprofits can earn income. Okay? So, the problem with one paycheck, I don't even got to explain that no more. Y'all know what the problem of one paycheck is, right? And this lesson today is multiple streams of income. What are your multiple streams? Explain the concept of multiple income streams. Break down each category. So like I said, I gave you 3 questions to answer. And I need you to stay focused and just write those things down. You know, and start natural gifts, things that's right around you. If you clean, start going to ask people, well, can I clean your house for you? If you do hair braiding, you got a lot of people. Start braiding. Okay? So I'm just saying, it's natural gifts. We have spiritual gifts and we have natural gifts. But let me tell you the key. I know God said he would give us the desires of our heart. And honestly, this is a business that he gave me that I did not even think I would never be doing. But why did he tell me to teach financial freedom? It's because that was my pain at one time. I was in debt. I remember sitting in church, and one of the financial advisors came to the church, and I was convicted, and I kept crying. But I didn't put myself in debt on purpose. I just didn't have the money. I was paying each and every one of my credit cards, but it was a minimum balance, would cost me to pay interest. We got to learn how to beat interest, y'all. I have no more car notes because I learned how to beat interest. I beat interest on my mortgage today because I make bi-weekly payments. Call your mortgage company and see if they will break it down to bi-weekly payments. There's an extra year that is paid up without you even paying any money when you do that, and you save interest. So come on, we without wisdom and knowledge, the people perish for lack of knowledge. In this time, we need all the knowledge and wisdom that we can possibly get. And we have to stop procrastinating over things and putting off things till tomorrow. Tomorrow is your worst enemy. Start now. Start today. It's in you. That vision is in you. Sometimes you can't even sleep at night. Sometimes you have restless nights. You twist and turn. You hate going to your 9-to-5 job. You hate dealing with those coworkers and those people and stuff like that. You know it's you. Been there. And then after they get what they want to get out you and take out your time and take all them taxes and stuff out of your money, and then when they decide to lay you off or fire you, you left with nothing. Let's wake up, y'all. Let's wake up. And I want to encourage you today. Encourage you to take action. Multiple streams of income. One income can blow up. If you got the faith, it can blow up. So you could start right now. Read Ecclesiastes 1:11-2. Give a portion to 7, yes to 8. Give a portion. You're going to have a portion. You're going to have an overflow. I'm telling you, one business idea can turn into multiple streams of income. Multiple. The more you educate, the more you tap into your vision, it's the more your mind is going to enlarge, and you're going to learn more, and you're going to know more. I'll be 64 years old in March, and I have not activated my brains in years. But when I got desperate and said, oh no, I'm almost at that senior citizen age. I can't get out here and work for nobody. I got to set up generational wealth for my children. Children. So I can't put off nothing by tomorrow. So I want to encourage you guys to tap in to the multiple streams of income. Tap in to that vision that you got. Just tap in. Okay? Just tap in. That's all I'm asking. Just tap in. Just tap in. Tag, like, and share. You can reach me at financialfreedomvip.com. If you are interested in starting your own business, nonprofit, LLC, credit repair, how to build your business credit. You know what? People say, oh, she got some. Yep, God done gave me a lot of gifts. And everything that I do, I experienced and I went through it. That's why I could teach it today. So I want to encourage you all to have a blessed and prosperous day. And thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in.